Hey guys, welcome back to It's Called Football. I'm your host, Ben Racka from Metro News. In the room, Dwayne Rollins, 24thminute.com, still wearing his Honduras strip. Still hasn't been punched in the face yet.
I'm punching myself.
Joining us on the line now from CSL team Hamilton, Croatia, Ron Davidson, the head coach there. Ron, thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we want to talk a little bit about what it's like to start a club like this, obviously in your first year, but let's get right into it in terms of how you're doing so far. Undefeated, you've got the Bradford Galaxy tonight, who's been the talk of the league so far. Give us a little bit of insight on how you intend to play them tonight and sort of what your strategy has been so far this year.
The strategy this year is, of course, get the team organised and fitness at the pre-season level. And we had quite a few new players coming in, so it was, learning their system and their styles of play and getting the team together as a unified group. So basically got into the system I like to play as a high-pressure game and lots of possession and attacking with numbers and defending with numbers. So I think we're getting there. There's still a bit of work to do, but I think we're getting there.
Ron, tell us a little bit, give us a little insight of how hard it is to start a team at this level. I know some of our listeners are just sort of getting aware of the CSL, and they may not have a great understanding of its level of quality. Tell us what the adjustment is and how difficult it's been to get a team ready to play in this league.
It has been very difficult, more so I think the learning curve with the entire organisation. Hamilton, Croatia is over 50 years old as a club, so we've had teams in youth and house league and the OSL level. Stepping into the CSL has been quite a challenge in terms of not just putting a team on the field, but understanding all the rules and regulations that come along with the CSL. With the CSL becoming membership with the CSA, there was also a lot of rules coming in from the CSA that were new to a lot of people, so it's been extremely a lot of work in the last 4 or 5 months to put the team on the field. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that a lot of people don't get a lot of praise for.
Well, give us an insight of what those restrictions and sort of hurdles are for a new club starting.
Some of the hurdles, I think for the new one is the CSA ruling, or FIFA ruling, that every club must have 9 professional players signed to professional contracts. That's financially very demanding for new clubs and puts a lot of strain on the budget and operating costs, and also finding those players and finding quality players to pay out that type of money. The window to make all that happen was very short this year, and I think a lot of the teams, I can speak for ourselves, struggled to fulfill those 9 players. We got it done, but maybe some other teams are struggling a bit for that.
It's been a bit.
That's one of the main hurdles, and the rules of the CSA and the CSL changing a few rules from last year, which is good for the game. Don't get me wrong, I think it's great for the game.
It's been a bit of a mixed bag so far this year. Give us your insight into who you think the top couple teams are in terms of quality and depth, as well as who's gotten results where they needed to get results so far.
I think it's a very diverse league. It's been an interesting challenge. I've been within the OSL for a few years, so stepping into this, it's been very different. It's more of a defensive league. There's not a lot of goals scored. And the teams, of course, that we've only played 5 games, so the Vaughan Shooters, York Region Shooters, were a good team when we played them. That was a good game. Good quality team, good players. Tonight's game against Bradford Galaxy is going to be, I think, our biggest challenge yet for the season, and they're going into an undefeated season so far as well. And they have a lot of big names on their roster that they brought in from overseas, mainly Croatia and Serbia. And so they played at high levels in Division 1, Serbia, Croatia, Romania, Switzerland. So this will be a big challenge for our guys tonight.
Bit of a derby game there, Bradford and Hamilton.
Yeah, there's a little bit of spice in this game, I think. A lot of the people know each other as far as behind-the-scenes organisation. One guy from Hamilton, Croatia, is kind of from the behind-the-scenes organisation, jumped ship and went to Bradford, so that adds to it. It's all part of the game. So, yeah,
You mentioned that Hamilton, Croatia has a tremendous history, a 50-year-old club that's played at a high level for a long time, but yet they've made the jump this year to the CSL. I think many people view that kind of path as an ideal situation for the game in this country, where you have long-standing clubs that are moving up and putting that senior team so that their youth can aspire to something. Tell us what the rationale was to make that move to CSL, which must have had some roadblocks for you, and why you feel it's important that big clubs in this province, in this country, make that jump.
I think, speaking for Hamilton, it was a natural progression for us. That played in the junior ranks in the local leagues, then moved to the USL, and going way back, they were in the NSL as well in the 60s and 70s. So going back to that was a natural progression for them, for the club now. I believe for the youth team and the kids to aspire to play, they're coming out to our games, they're walking out with the players before the kickoff. It's shown a lot of interest in the city, and I just think that a lot of young players, when they're 18, 19, 20 years old, kind of disappear from the scene. And I think it's a mandate for everybody that's involved in the game to not allow those players to just drift away. There's a lot of talent in the country, but there seems to be a huge gap from 18 onwards to where they play. So for us, not only for the Hamilton Croatia youth, but for all the youth in the city and the surrounding area, for us, we're hoping that the CSL does employ that outlook for all the clubs, and all the clubs lead by example, and we get a structure that our young players have somewhere to aspire to.
One of the two things that seems to be evident in this league is that there are two types of teams, really. Teams that are here to win and want to win titles, and teams that are, while they want to win, is that they want to develop players in addition to that. Where do you see the Hamilton Croatia falling into in that category? Do you want to develop players, sell them overseas, make money that way, or do you want to just win titles?
I would say there's a bit of both, to be quite honest. We wouldn't turn down the first option if we developed them. We spent a lot of time, a lot of money, and 20 years old, someone wants them, or 18 years old, across the water, or overseas, wherever, South America. It's an option, of course, we'd take, but it's not a priority. It is a win-oriented business, results-oriented business, to win the league. That's what we want to do as well. And really just the whole package, to be quite honest, develop players, play for the first team, and try and win while we're doing it.
Ron, two-pronged question here to end it off. First off, what has the reaction in Hamilton been to the club right now? Are you happy with the sort of support you're getting through the media and through the community? And second off, if you had a message to send to people in Hamilton that haven't been out to a game yet, that don't really know much about the CSL, tell us why they should go out and support this club.
For answer the first question, we've been fairly happy with that. The media, we could get a little bit more from our local media. Just this week we had CH come out and videotape our training and do some interviews. We've just one of our players playing tonight is Ryan Dodds, who was a local boy who left to head over and play in Scotland. He was playing with Kilmarnock. So he signed for us, and he played with the Canadian under-20 national team way back. So they've done a story on that, which is great publicity for the club, and local boy coming home and playing for the team. Why should fans come out and watch? I think it's a good brand of soccer. I think the league has moved to another level of play. There's a lot of good players in the league, so all the games are pretty close and exciting to watch. And to support the community team, we're kind of leading the way now with the CSL as the most senior team in Hamilton. So, and we're trying to develop a family environment, and it's an enjoyable evening to come out and watch some good soccer.
It's been Ron Davidson, head coach of Hamilton, Croatia. Ron, thanks very much for joining us.
Pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Cheers.